The Smith & Wesson Model 327 Jerry Miculek Edition. Let's check it out. Jerry Miculek is one of the fastest shooters in the world. Not only that, he has a huge personality that is so likable. There have been a number of Smith & Wesson limited editions with the Jerry Miculek name. Today we're going to be looking at the revolver that actually set the world record. And this is the Model 327. This is in 9mm and it takes moon clips, 8 rounds. It's a Performance Center special, and there are only going to be 1,880 of these made as a limited edition. It's optics ready, it has Jerry Miculek's grip, it's ported. I mean, there's a lot of really cool features about this handgun. It comes with a Vortex Compdot, and this thing shoots like a dream. In fact, he shot 6 plates at 1.88 seconds. I mean, the man is a phenomenon. And we want to give Smith & Wesson a big thank you for sending the Model 327 Jerry Miculek Limited Edition Revolver in 9mm for this review. That's a big name. Well guys, today we're looking at the Smith & Wesson Performance Center Model 327 WR for world record. And Jerry Miculek is one of the fastest shooters alive. He's won a number of world records, in fact 5 with revolvers. But then he's also won 15 world records with other type firearms, from 9mm all the way up to 50 BMG. He is a master, and if you've ever watched him, he shoots with, it seems like there's no recoil. I mean, it's amazing. But again, this is his design. In fact, this is a replica of the gun that he used to win one of his first world records, which was 6 plates at 1.88 seconds at 7 yards. We're not only going to talk about the features, we're also going to talk about why, because he does explain a lot of those things about why he really likes the Model 327. And the 327 designates an N frame, which is one of Smith & Wesson's largest. I think now the X frame is actually bigger. But this has been their largest frame for a number of years, and it's in scandium, which is a super lightweight alloy. And then we have a titanium alloy cylinder. Now, a lot of people would think that shooting really fast, you want something that's a little bit heavier to maintain the recoil. But one of the things that Jerry Miculek talks about is that having that really lightweight makes this super fast to transition to different targets. But we also have a stainless steel barrel. And you can see the polished finish on the side, and then it's black. In fact, most of the revolver is black, but it has the silver accents. Go ahead and just double check to make sure it's unloaded. Of course, we have 8 rounds. Now, one of the things that's really unique about this 327 is it comes in 9mm. And you have your moon clips. It shoots 8 rounds. Now, the 327 traditionally is in 357 Magnum. But of course, you can shoot 38 in that as well. But it's a very large frame. And for 9mm, which is usually pretty easy to maintain. But if you really want to get speed, if you really want to get on target very quickly and transition, you know, 9mm is really Jerry's pick. Now, one of the things about this particular handgun as well is it's ported. And so you're getting the ports, and that's really going to help with muzzle rise. It's going to keep the barrel in a linear position, able again just to transition to targets really fast. There is some weight savings here at the top. There are 4 ports. These are not actual ports into the barrel, and it's carrying a red dot system. Now, this is the core system from Smith & Wesson. And it actually just replaces the rear sight, which is an adjustable rear sight. It comes that way. But this has a really substantial plate at the bottom, and then it has multiple adapter plates. And then with this particular model, it comes with the Vortex Compdot. Very large window, and that's one of the big things about this particular handgun, is to really get that large area where you can see, bring it up quickly, and it's just part of the system. But really overall, this is a fairly large handgun. The barrel is 5 inches. It does have a brass bead at the front. The rear sight is a blacked out adjustable sight, and so this comes on the revolver. To put on the core system, you have to take this off. But overall, I mean, this is honestly set up for speed. And of course, the trigger is a very smooth trigger pull. We're going to look at that. Bobbed hammer. And then we have Jerry Miculek's grip. Now, some people would look at this and go, well, where's the texturing? Why don't I have texturing on here? This is a laminated, it's not typically like super slick, but yet because of the polymer on here, it gives it a little bit of tack. But honestly, one of the things that Jerry said is he put cornstarch on his hands because he wanted to be able to grab this out of the holster, transition his grip just like he needed to with just ultimate speed, and to be able to get on target. That's one of the things we're going to check out at the range. I have not shot this yet because I wanted to show it unfired. This is a limited edition of 1,880 handguns. And once that's gone, they're gone. So most people that purchase this are probably going to be more collectors, but we're going to shoot it. Now your cylinder latch right here is just your forward movement, which is typical for Smith & Wesson. It does have checkering on here, makes it really easy to get to. Just cylinder spins freely. And then we have our moon clip, which we just dropped the 9 rounds in. That is really quick to load for a revolver. And that's really one of the downsides of a revolver, is it's typically limited round capacity, and then you've got to load each round or use a speed loader. With moon clips, it's super fast. You can just drop them in and they're ready to go. And of course, with the cylinder rod, you can just pop those out. But it does come with 5 moon clips, and we're going to look at some accessories. It actually has a loader and an unloader that comes with this whole setup. And again, this is a limited edition, so there are some pretty cool things that come with this handgun. It's got Performance Center on the side of the barrel. Smith & Wesson's Performance Center does an excellent job. A lot of times with just some of their standard line handguns. In fact, I have one of the Performance Center shields, and it's just an upgraded version of the original. And then here on the other side, we have 9mm Luger. And we do have the signature of Jerry Miculek. And so it's just engraved right here in the side of the frame. Again, a black oxide finish on here, and it's a matte finish. But underneath, it is super lightweight. In fact, an all-steel version of this same handgun weighs a solid pound more than the Model 327. The ejector rod is protected, but it is open on the other side in a little port window. And so as we push, it just releases that detent, allows you to get right to it. And guys, one thing I do want to mention about revolvers is a lot of times guys are going to the semi-automatic pistols, but revolvers have a great place. And guys, if you really like to shoot and really like firearms, this opens up a whole nother world. Whether you decide to carry one or not, they're simple, they're easy to use, and they're super fast. And that's one of the things that Jerry really demonstrates over and over, even against guys with semi-automatic pistols. Now it is double action only because the hammer is bobbed, so that means that when you pull the trigger, the hammer comes back, but you can't cock the hammer. And that's one of the things about a lot of guys that like that cocked hammer so they can take that slow shot. But if you're into speed or into competitive shooting, you don't want the hammer to get in the way. So one of the things that Jerry mentions is he doesn't like a hammer because when he puts his hand in holster to withdraw the gun, it can get in the way, it can snag. And so that's just a really slick hammer. Trigger is well tuned. It does have a trigger stop. I would say that this is not as light as your Jerry Miculek competition trigger, but it's a super smooth trigger pull. Also, one of the things that Jerry really likes is the lightweight cylinder. He said with a steel cylinder, you can actually feel the weight of the cylinder moving. And so with titanium, you don't feel that. It's very lightweight, and so when it's moving, it doesn't distract. And so it makes it really easy, and it can be super fast. One of the things about having a titanium cylinder over a steel cylinder is you have about 1/3 the weight with your titanium cylinder. With this, a little bit heavier trigger pull, and we're going to look at the weight in a second. This is definitely a very smooth trigger. It's not going to be the fastest, is you don't want to have something too light to be able to fire inadvertently unless you really know what you're doing. we have the Smith & Wesson logo, and then right here we have our model number and our serial number. If you ever have a Smith & Wesson revolver and you want to know the model number, typically it's right here against the frame behind the cylinder. But being a performance center handgun, this is going to be, the action is going to be really fine-tuned, and again, you can tell just because of that trigger pull. Checking the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge. 9 pounds, 4.2 ounces, and we were getting that pretty consistently. But because this trigger is so smooth, it belies the weight. I mean, it is smooth all the way through. In fact, you can get right to the edge for that trigger pull, and then it snaps. Now here at the front of the barrel, you can see the stainless steel has notches. Obviously a wrench can go here and twist this off. There is a center sleeve, and then you have the outside housing, which is stainless steel. And so this just gives you an idea of the way this is set up. This is crowned as well. And again, we have those ports. They are elongated and they're on either side. It's going to just allow for very flat shooting. And then of course the relief ports here at the top, they don't go through into the barrel, but they are just for weight savings. And you'll notice that there's a lot of weight savings on different areas. And so this is something you're going to see that a lot of times takes a lot of machining, but it makes for a beautiful handgun. And even in 9mm, this will reduce recoil up to 33%, which makes it just faster. The one thing about a 9mm revolver is that you can shoot your 100 grain all the way up to your 147 grain 9mm. You don't have to worry about reliability because it's a revolver. Now to get a better look at the core system, it has a really heavy duty metal plate, and then we have adapter plates. One of the things that Smith & Wesson includes is a number of different adapter plates for different optics. But the Compdot from Vortex is included with this package. And it is a 6 MOA dot, so it's going to be large and you're going to be able to pick that up really quickly. You have your different intensity buttons on either side to go from dim up to high. I really like the battery compartment on the Compdot. And here it is right here at the top. It's really easy. You don't have to dismount your red dot sight. But what you do is take this little silver dot and you press it. And that releases it, and then it opens up. Then you can change out your battery. Then just close the little door, push this lever forward, and it locks it back into place. Of course, you have your windage and elevation on either side, and the Vortex Compdot is just an excellent optic, and man, it has a really large and in-charge window. Now as far as weight, with the Compdot already attached and the core systems, 35.5 ounces. I think a standard M-frame revolver weighs about 42 ounces, so you're really saving a pound even with the Compdot attached, which allows just for faster transitions. Now using moon clips, I mean, this is definitely very quick. I love it. But loading moon clips can be a pain. If you can imagine putting 9mm on here one at a time, you know, it's just got to pop it in. But this is really cool. And guys, I'm telling you, whatever revolver you have, if you have moon clips, take it, just put it in this little notch. It'll tell you where to put the cartridge, and you just pull the lever. Guys, this is just beautiful. These have been around for a little while. It's great to see these included. You're going to be able to load your moon clips really fast. Beautiful. Also, we really do appreciate Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA. One of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. Made in the USA, just like this beautiful Smith & Wesson. You know, with the Model 327WR, we're seeing what Jerry Miculek won the world record for revolver shooting. And so we're getting an idea and getting actually to own one that has the same configuration. The scandium frame, the titanium cylinder, the ports in the barrel, and then his grip, which honestly, you know, it's no texturing, nothing, but man, this thing just really holds in your hand. 9mm and speed loaders, that's really cool. Just drop them in, very quick to reload, especially for a revolver. And that Vortex Compdot is really good. I mean, so smooth shooting. The barrel being at the end, it gives you a little bit of weight, but then that frame is super lightweight. I'll tell you guys, this has been a real pleasure to shoot, and I'm not surprised because it's the master that kind of put this together, and then in collaboration with Smith & Wesson. Again, super easy to load, super fun to shoot. Well, I'm not a Jerry Miculek, never will be, but this will get you on the target a lot quicker. Okay, moon clips, spring steel, and they're great. They're very fast to load into a revolver. But the problem with moon clips is that they can bend and they can be a pain to load by hand. And while you can do it with one hand, after you're loading quite a bit, it gets really tedious. This is just a great loader. I know we showed this at the range, but I just wanted to kind of show it a little bit more close. Here you put your cartridge right in that little area, and then you just press, and it just clips it right in. So this is a great addition. Guys, if you're shooting moon clips, I would highly recommend this tool. So it's so easy to do. We also have the unloader, and this is a pretty cool tool as well. It has a hollow end, and it has this little lip. So you take and put it over the shell right here, and then you just twist, and then it drops down into the hollow tube. And of course, you can just go right down the list. Makes it really easy. If you're doing this by hand, you can damage your moon clip, and you don't want to damage it because any deformation, it'll be impossible to use. But I mean, guys, this just gives you everything right here together, and then when you're finished, pour them out. So really a pretty cool setup for the range, for self-defense, whatever. I mean, this is a fast way to load a revolver. It does come in a Pelican case with the Smith & Wesson logo, beautiful blue. We have blue laser foam that's cut, just perfect for the handgun to fit into, even has room for your Compdot. The Compdot actually was right here, and you have your cover. All the accessories for the Vortex are actually included with this. In this section right here, we actually have the other moon clips, which makes this really quick, and having the additional moon clips is a nice touch. And as we were showing at the range, it does have a moon clip loader, and this thing is really fast, really easy to use, and we have a tool to be able to remove the spent shells from the moon clips without messing them up. The one thing you don't want to do is to bend your moon clips. So I would suggest having a number of these if you're using moon clips in a revolver. But underneath the loader, we have a number of different things. In fact, all this is from Vortex with different screws to fit the different mounting plates. And it comes with a whole assortment of different mounting plates and a mount for a Picatinny rail. So if you want to change this out and put something else on it, you can, and you have a lot of different options. And it also comes with a sight adjustment tool for the Vortex Compdot. And this is shipped with the adjustable rear sight already attached. And of course, owner's manual with some Smith & Wesson stickers. Now guys, being a Smith & Wesson Performance Center Model 327 WR for world record, Jerry Miculek signature, I mean, being a limited edition of only 1,880 revolvers made. This is definitely going to be in the collector's category. But in 357 Magnum or 38 Special, they do make the Model 37 TRRE, which again is in 357 Magnum. It runs $1,569. They do make just a 2-inch model, which is really a different looking gun. But again, it has that really light cylinder, light frame, but yet it has the end frame, which makes it larger. But now if you want 9mm, they do make the Model 929, and those run about $1,469 retail. When it comes to the Performance Center Model 327 WR, the Jerry Miculek edition, this is again collector status. These run $34.99. And most people that purchase one of these is probably going to have it in their collection because it's just going to gain in value. Again, once the 1,880 are gone, they're gone for good. But if that's a little rich for your blood, there's definitely other models that are not Jerry Miculek, but they will still put rounds down range pretty quickly. So guys, the Smith & Wesson Model 327 WR for world record. Again, a limited edition, only 1,880 of these are going to be made, and you're going to be tempted to put this in your safe and lock it away. But I'm going to tell you this, guys, you take this out to the range, and you may not be Jerry Miculek, but it'll sure improve your shooting. This is a fantastic gun at the range. And again, a big thank you to Smith & Wesson for sending their Performance Center Model 327 WR for this review in 9mm. And to Jerry Miculek for just being so awesome. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Again, Jerry Miculek's something. It's something. And we want to give Smith, and it makes it really fast to load, except I can't because I'm slow. He's a phenomenal shooter, and it's great to kind of get an idea of what he personally likes. You know, that sun's getting ready to go behind that cloud. Hang on, let me let it go by that cloud. Titanium alloy chamber or cylinder. That's not a chamber, you foopy doopy.